All right, and welcome to the second official episode of the Unheard Truth podcast. I'm your host, Warren.
Brendan.
Caden.
Fernando.
And I'm Kieran.
And welcome to our episode. Today we are going to be talking about tattoos and piercings, mostly for teenagers, but just all in all about tattoos and piercings. We want to talk about this because coming from a person who has piercings, and Kieran has piercings, a lot of us have piercings. We just thought we would give our perspective over the whole thing. And I know that I'm planning on getting a tattoo the second I'm 18. I don't know about anyone else, but
Yeah, it's up for debate on my part.
I'm down to get one.
I'm
I
thinking
want to
about
get
it.
one. I just don't know what I want to get.
yeah.
Mm.
So we thought we would talk about our perspective over the whole thing, why we get them, and why we think others get them. Obviously, it's going to come down to our opinion. All right. So starting off with one reason why people are assumed to get tattoos and or piercings, and that is because people like to think that people who get tattoos and piercings are doing it for attention. Personally, I don't think that people who do this, as teenagers at least, do it for attention. I think it's more of just a stylish choice. At least now,
Mhm.
I don't see many people getting piercings and just being, flashy about it. I think people get them just for the style of it and just because they want to.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you're like updating any aspect of your style or how you look, it's doing it for attention. So I think getting piercings definitely increases the amount of attention you get because it's something new, and even tattoos, just because people are gonna look at your arm to look or wherever you got your tattoo at, and just gonna just gonna look at it. It's just gonna attract a lot more attention.
It could be a thing about attention at home too, not just like attention at school, because
Yeah,
some
that's true.
people go and do it and then just to get some type of attention at home, even if it's negative.
Up next, we have self-expression. I know this kind of relates to the last one in a sense, where like kids who want to express themselves more uh, get piercings or more tattoos than piercings to do self-expression, because no tattoo is the same. So, and whether or not it's copy and pasted, in a sense, every tattoo is different because not only the artist but also the tattooee's personal little choices that go into the tattoo make it their own. So I think that's one form of self-expression that comes into it. I'm not so sure about piercings.
Well, actually, I think piercings is a good way of self-expression. It's because you see all these cool people, like big celebrities, they all have piercings, and then you just want to feel as cool as they do. So you want to express how cool you think you are, and so you just get yours pierced.
The expression thing could also be like with the different types of earrings that you wear or rings that you wear
Yeah, that's true. You
wherever
could
you
wear
have
a
the piercing.
Yeah. I mean, you could get like different color or different kinds of stones in your ear,
Hmm.
which
Well,
might
and there's
be
also
like
like
your birthstone and whatnot.
yeah, and there's also like different like movies or shows or something you can get rings or earrings or whatever that go along with that, like the different symbols or whatever.
Yeah, and tattoos is basically body art. And when you think of art, you think of people expressing their emotions. Like warm colors and whatnot. People could do that with tattoos as well. Like I've seen people get animal tattoos because they really care about them. They get tattoos of loved ones that they lost and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's not just loved ones that they lost, like also loved ones that a lot of people would get their kids tattooed on their arms or somewhere on their body or just their names, and or the date they got married or something like that. But that's a bad idea.
Up next, we have rebellion. This is, I guess, another thing people like to perceive why teens get permanent, or at least semi-permanent, piercings, tattoos, so on and so forth. Um, this sort of stereotype does have merit because this is a little bit older, but it's true. My dad got his 4 earrings originally just to piss off his parents. Um, and I've seen a little girl get one just to make her birth father angry, which is a little messed up, but I mean, it the stereotype has merit, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that.
Go ahead, kid.
No, I don't. I don't know where I was going with that.
Mhm. uh, well, I think that's definitely a huge plus because I'm not a plus. Whatchamacallit? What am I trying to say? That's definitely true in my perspective. Because whenever you have really strict parents that don't let you do a lot of things, a good way to rebel is like doing something that will just seem so bad. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah, but we're not encouraging you guys to do that.
Oh God, no.
Just by saying that stuff, of course.
No, I'm just speaking like from a rebellious child's point of view. I would never like rebel against my parents because consider they would probably literally kill me if I rebelled and just got a tattoo of like something random that doesn't mean anything. But just I'm just saying in the mindset of a rebellious child with strict parents, they would be very prone to going to get any tattoo or piercings.
Up next, we have the next point as to why people might get a tattoo in this case, which is a visual display of personal narrative. Now, Kate didn't add in this point, so if you could elaborate, that would be great.
Wait, I did.
Yes.
um, I don't remember that. I don't know, cause you could do it like people get it to like tell certain things, or people get certain quotes, like as tattoos, they get like quotes or they get symbols or something to represent different things. And like, what is it, the semicolon or something? Tattoo
Oh
is
yeah, that
supposed to like,
symbolizes uh like the carry on of a sentence. So people get that to I think it's raise awareness about suicide prevention. That's why
something
people
like
get the
that.
semicolon.
Yeah. So it's just like a bunch of different tattoos can tell different stories or different sides of stories and things like that.
Yeah. Personally, now diving into this, I personally like tattoos a lot more that actually tell a narrative than are there just for
Yeah, me
looks.
too.
Like tattoos that are there just for looks, have their own set of wow factor, but if there's a story behind that tattoo other than I got drunk and now there's a tattoo on me, and it's more than just that, more than just a crazy night I wanted to get a tattoo, and it tells like a story of like how you carried on, the semicolon. I feel like that has
Yeah.
a lot more meaning, and those tattoos hold a lot more reason as to why a person would want to have one, more than just someone who would just like want one.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, if I decide that I want one, I'm trying to find something that would have at least one meaning, if not multiple meanings.
Yeah, for me too. Because like as I said, like I really want to get a tattoo. I love how they look, but I don't want to just slap something on my body and then regret it 5, 10 years down the line.
Well, whenever someone's young, they just don't think about what they're gonna do to their body whatsoever. So they just want to get the first thing that comes to mind, first thing that looks cool. And then 10 years later, they're stuck with a tattoo that they absolutely hate, but they don't want to get it removed because it's expensive and painful. So, which is, yeah, I think it's just a big problem. People should not get tattoos that they would regret. It has to be meaningful. That's just my opinion, though.
Up next, we have reminders of spiritual and cultural traditions, and this one holds, I mean, a serious merit. Yeah. Now I may be wrong, so don't take this as fact, but I'm pretty sure henna, if I'm correct, can be permanent but also not permanent. Am I wrong or right on that? Does anybody know?
Henna?
Henna,
I-
it's like the I can't really think
It's
about
like, is it
Yeah,
Indian or
I'm looking
something?
at it.
it.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
do,
dye. It's from a plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean like henna style things. I'm
Yeah,
not
look up
too
a
sure.
henna tattoo.
Yeah, like a henna tattoo, but it's permanent. Like most henna I know is like only like semi-permanent, and it's only around for like a little bit.
Regular henna is semi-permanent or temporary, however you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. But you can get like actual tattoos of it or something.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that kind of falls under like cultural traditions, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm not saying I have experience with it, or nor do I know anyone who does have it as a cultural traditions, but you can't really mark it off. Like there's so many traditions in the world that people don't understand. It's kind of hard to really know what's right or wrong, you know?
Well, I guess I kind of understand what you're saying. Is that well, I had a coworker. He tattooed the Star of David on both of his biceps, and it's because he's Jewish. So I mean, it reminds him of his religion, I guess, per se, or whatever he believes in. Yeah.
I know somebody, and I don't remember who, but on like the side of their finger, they had a cross, and I never asked why, but it's kind of that, just like that reminder, I guess.
I'm looking up real quick because I know there's tribes that to show that they're a part of a specific tribe, they tattoo their
Mhm.
faces and like all over their body. I'm trying to think. Hmm. Pop up. Hmm. Okay. The Kaiopa tribe in Brazil,
Mhm.
uh, their rituals and practices, they put great emphasis on the relationship between people and the earth. So their villagers must be made up of several huts and with a central one for the men to meet the women. That's what it says. No. Men to meet and discuss their community issues, and they get their faces tattooed orange and with black stripes. That's what it looks like, and then their neck is tattooed yellow. So it's interesting. So that's one tribe, and I think there's another one. If it pops up, okay. I hope I don't say this wrong. The Maori tribe in New Zealand. I didn't even know New Zealand had tribes, but for their tattoos, they traditionally use a method called tamoko, in which the skin is carved instead of punctured. The tattoos mark the transition from childhood to adulthood and was worn on the face, buttocks, and thighs for men, and lips and chins for the women. So
Huh.
that's an interesting style of tattooing, but I can see
Mhm.
why they do it.
Well, uh, up next we have addiction. Uh, this one I fully understand. Um, coming from someone who comes from addiction, I'm a very addictive person. I get addicted to everything. I could get addicted to knitting if you started me on it. I swear, I'm being fully honest. If I got into knitting, I would never stop doing it. So I'm an addictive person. So
Mhm.
I know for a fact that tattoos are just naturally addicting because they're so gorgeous, like 99% of the time. And they're just so gorgeous, you
Mhm.
just want more, and you want more, and you want more. It's it's been put up there with like addictions to
It's like a
alcohol and
drug.
stuff. It
Yeah,
is. It's like a
Yeah.
drug because it's so good. And there's been studies on it. There have been studies on it. I don't have any on me offhand, but I know that there have been because my mom
Yeah.
does her research before she got hers, and yeah. So they're
When it's like-
addicting, and people who are like me who get addicted to everything they so much as touch should probably stay away from tattoos unless, like we said before, it's a cultural tradition, personal narrative, like it means something. But that's just a recommendation. Like obviously you don't have to listen to me if you do what you want to do. But I'm just saying for your wallet's sake and for your body's sake, probably don't do tattoos if you're an addictive
Well,
person.
Yeah, and it's very similar to with piercings because once people start, there are certain people who can't stop or don't stop, and it can lead to like a lot of problems or whatever because they try to get so many piercings in so many places, and it's so harmful to your body if you just keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, apparently most people get tattoos because of the adrenaline rush. Because of, you know how when a lot of pain goes through a specific area of your body and you don't like feel it anymore because you're just so pumped full of adrenaline and whatnot. It's
Mhm.
that's what tattoos do to you. And they also do it for obviously attention and whatnot. So when people, it's like buying a new car. When someone buys a new car, everybody looks at it, be like, "Oh, that's so cool." It's the same concept with a tattoo. Everybody just looks at it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you look so much better now. Tattoos are so cool." So it just makes you crave more and more, just so you can get more attention with that. And then eventually it does get to the point where it's too much. Like if your whole body's covered to tattoos where you can't even tell it's you anymore, I think it's time to stop for sure. But if you just do it just because you like it and not just for because everybody else likes it, then I guess it could be okay. It's really up to the type of person you are.
Oh, and now we get to the to the fun one. Drunken impulsiveness. Tattoos for years have and piercings for some cases, some very very weird cases have been shown to uh be a major outcome of drunken party nights with friends. What
Mhm.
happens a lot of the time is a group of friends will get drunk and will say, "I will get a tattoo if you get one," and then
Mhm.
eventually, obviously, they go out and get tattoos because they're drunk and they can't control their brains. Which is why you see a lot of tattoo parlors on streets um in like city
Las
areas with
Vegas.
bars. Yeah, so like there's a lot of tattoo places in bar or in Las Vegas. There's when I went to New Orleans, there was like at least two not only two stands, not so much as like parlors, so they would just like do small ones right then and there from like hot dog carts. And they would also on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, which is basically where all the bars are in New Orleans. So they know the
Well, and
market. Hmm?
yeah, and like so last weekend I went down to San Marcos, and the college, Texas State University, is right next to the square of San Marcos, and they have 4 or 5 bars, and right on the same like strip or whatever, there were also 3 or 4 tattoo parlors. So they
But it's also oh, continue. Sorry.
no, I was Warren already said it, but it's like they know exactly the kinds of people that will come in and try to spend whatever money they've got in their pockets to
Make an impression.
yeah.
Well, actually, that's exactly why tattoo parlors are open so late, because they know
Mhm.
someone drunk is gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, give me a tattoo of my girlfriend's name." They
Mhm.
just know that something like that's gonna happen, or just a weird piercing, like a belly button piercing on a guy. I guarantee that that's happened, but
Probably.
who knows? So, I mean, it's interesting because you go to sleep, don't remember anything, and then when you wake up, you just wake up with either a strange tattoo or piercing in a random place, so you have no idea how it got there. You have to
Yup.
try to explain to everybody how you got it, which would be
Mhm.
hilarious. But remember, kids, don't drink. Cut that part out.
I'm sorry.
Cut that part out.
Okay.
That awkward silence.
Oh, shut up. Now,
Shut up.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull a fast one on you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my dad in here, cause me and him have had a open debate about me getting a tattoo at 17. And it's not so much he's against the idea. He is more of, I don't know. I just want a parent's perspective on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can grab him, and if not, I'll just cut this part out. So give me like 20 seconds.
This will be interesting.
Anus.
Ooh, I was so tempted to just start counting and give him literally 20 seconds.
2, 3.
You guys
4,
haven't talked at all.
5.
I hope you know that, except for me and Caden.
I've had nothing useful to say.
I've just been shopping on Hot Topic the whole time.
Looking up most piercing, person with the most piercing and the person with the most tattoos. There's this chick. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she has 462 piercings, and 192 of them are in her face alone.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't.
This tattooed person, that's a little bit hard to find somebody, but there's quite a lot of people who've done like stupid body modifications.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this guy. I don't know if this is his real name, but Lucky Diamond Rich. He's had his entire body tattooed with multiple layers, and he spent over 1,000 hours being tattooed.
All right,
Oh,
I'm back,
man.
and my dad
There's-
refused to show up. So cool.
But it says he
There's,
has
there's a
every.
guy or girl, I don't even honestly know at this point, but they
It-
wanted to be a lizard. So they got like scales tattooed, they got their tongue cut, like they got piercings everywhere. Like it was nasty. Just because
I'm looking
they
at this
wanted
person
to
right
be
now.
a lizard.
Yeah, I think
I
I've
got their teeth
seen
sharpened
that.
too.
You can. I mean, there's people that get their. I think it's their cornea tattooed. Because I know
Mhm.
a YouTuber. He has his cornea tattooed blue. Just one of them. And then he also has his tongue split. But it's
I
weird.
just-
I don't know why you would get a tongue split because like you
Yeah.
can't suck out of a straw anymore.
Exactly. Like you can't do a lot of stuff, and it's just like it looks so gross.
It looks funny. I like it. You get to clap your
Oh.
two sides of your tongue together. It's hilarious.
Ew! Oh my god.
Ah,
Honestly, I feel like it'd be
Oh.
effective. Like, let's say you're about to drop something out of your mouth, you can just stick your tongue out and grab it.
that would be,
Ew.
oh yes, that would be awesome. Remember, guys,
Ew.
don't get your tongue split if you like sucking out of
Okay,
straws.
all right, Kieran. Okay.
Keep that part in. That was awesome.
All right.
Because you know what a podcast is, right? It's like
It's just
giving
people
your
talking.
exactly. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put it in. If it's good,
That's
I'll
what
put
she
it in.
said.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to skip this song. Hex no.
So, I just kind of want to take a general consensus as to basically your guys' opinions on tattoos and piercings. Obviously, some of us are gonna agree with tattoos, if not all of us on them. But the question I want to ask is, should kids have the ability to control what age they get pierced and tattooed? Because currently, as it stands, a lot of tattoo parlors will not accept minors, which is people 17 and under. So I just kind of want to see if you guys, what your opinion is on it, because I don't know. I feel it's kind of interesting to see what a kid's perspective on life, literally life-changing decisions. Because if you get a tattoo, the only real way to get it taken off is with like laser. I don't want to say surgery, but like laser disruption is the word I'm gonna use. But
Well, I mean, it's
that's
like,
really expensive and painful. A lot more painful
Mhm.
than tattoos.
well, like, ear piercings is one thing. Like, a bunch of kids get their ears pierced because it's just like the wearing earrings thing. But then there's like the other parts of the body. Like, a 12-year-old child does not need to have her belly button pierced. But it's just,
Whoa.
I mean,
I agree
like,
with you,
I don't know.
but I will say that I don't think if I ever had a daughter, I would not allow her to get her belly button pierced until she was out of my house. Reason being, it's like a lower back tattoo. It's a it just looks like a tramp stamp. Because obviously
It's only
other
there to
guys
show off.
yeah, exactly. And how are you gonna show it off? Wearing crop tops. Okay. It's not I don't know how to describe it. I'm just saying if I ever had a daughter, I wouldn't let her get a belly button piercing
Yeah, I
until
see
she's
where you're
out of my
coming from.
house.
Well, and then like the getting a tattoo at like being a minor, I feel like the 18 rule is fine because there are people who would get stupid stuff tattoos and they would regret it later. And I feel like even some like 18-year-olds will do some stupid stuff. Some adults will do stupid stuff. But like a kid will get like a character or something tattooed on them, but they're gonna hate it later.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, I think because in Texas the age of consent is 17, so I think
It is. It got changed.
it got changed 17. So I
Yeah.
think in Texas you should at least be allowed to get a tattoo because if you commit a
Mhm.
crime in Texas, you're considered an adult at
Well, I mean,
17.
yeah.
So I mean, I think a 17-year-old has about the same amount of logic as an 18-year-old. 18-year-old maybe
Sometimes.
have a little bit more, unless
Because they
depending on
have
the
that
child,
much more
honestly.
life experience.
They have a year more life experience. But yes, I think a 17-year-old should be allowed to get a tattoo. But that's just my personal
Mhm.
opinion. I mean, I have
I mean,
piercings, my ear's pierced, but I
it
mean
makes
that's not
sense.
bad,
The
I
the
guess.
what you said about the 17-18 thing, like it makes sense. So I'm not gonna say you're wrong because you're not. It does make total sense.
Yeah, it's just I think people need to rationally think about what they're doing to their body before they do it
Mhm.
because they have it's a permanent thing. Well, ear piercings not necessarily because you can just take them out and they'll go away, but tattoo, it's a permanent thing, and if you got that removed, it would leave a nasty scar. So I would not
Mhm.
recommend it.
Yep.
I mean, I still want a tattoo, but like underage, not a chance. Cause like I don't think rationally at this age. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a stupid teenager. All I think
Mm.
about is cars and women. That's about it.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and agree and say I feel like tattoos you shouldn't be able to get them before 17 for sure. Get your ears pierced, something simple like that, whenever you're younger. But like other parts of your body, I feel like it should be at least 16.
Mhm. Because the only like getting something other than your ear pierced, other than like a nose or a lip, it's just there to show off. And you won't be able to show it off unless you wear stuff that'll show it.
Hmm.
And usually, I'm going to just say a random number, 80% of the time, that's wearing inappropriate clothes, if not more than 80.
80% of the time.
What?
Why would you say a random number?
I don't know because it's not like a fact. Like I'm not saying
Wait,
exactly.
wait. Let me understand this real quick. You said that most of the time, people wear like inappropriate clothes to like show off their tattoos or piercings. Is that what I got?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Basically. But like if you have a belly button piercing, you're gonna wear a shirt that's gonna show it.
Well, unless you're in school. I mean, I know
I
there's a
mean,
couple girls in our class that have belly button piercings and they don't wear crop tops in school,
well,
or
that's
they
to
shouldn't wear them
school
at
because
all. to be honest.
They'll get like at school you'll get in trouble, but even in just like walking around, you never know what kind of attention you're going to attract wearing stuff like that. But that's a
Oh,
whole
you're
other
gonna.
topic that I won't get into.
Oh well, I think we should discuss that as a later topic because that would be
Yeah.
interesting. Just well, if our audience, of course, is comfortable with discussing that topic, but
What
Yeah, 'cause
audience?
I
But
can-
okay.
leave it down in the comment sections, guys. What do you guys
I
want us to
can
talk
go-
about?
I can go on and on about dress codes and stuff like that, but I won't right now.
Well,
Now,
okay.
I hate to interrupt, but
No, it too.
I-
They're fine.
I would like to dedicate a segment to showing
Yes.
what you're risking if you get a tattoo. There are a number of bad ideas. Getting a tattoo while under the influence is one of them. And sometimes going to the wrong tattoo artist is another one. So,
Mhm.
this series of images I will soon be sharing with you are a collection of bad choices.
Oh lordy.
Are a series of
Oh
bad
my
choices,
gosh.
and I think, I mean, it's something we can have a laugh at, and be
Mm,
like, that was a bad choice. We're not we're not going to laugh
Ooh.
at the person. We are
No,
going
it's just the
to laugh
concept of
at the bad
The concept.
choices.
Yo,
So
I'm gonna be honest. That doesn't just because he has all those fast food places tattooed on him doesn't make it a bad choice if that's what he loves and they have a deep
that's
meaning
free
beside him.
advertising, honestly. If we're
He's a
being
walking-
honest
yeah,
here.
like they could he could get paid for that. He might have gotten paid for that. Like, oh, if you guys
I
don't know, we're
remember
looking at a
I'll
man
put
who
the image in.
has
I'll put the image in. I'll put
fast
the
food
image in.
chains, like their logos all over his body. So
Huh.
it's pretty interesting, and it looks photoshopped. I'm not gonna lie, so it might be, but
I don't know.
look at the KFC in the bottom right. It looks photoshopped on.
Oh my gosh.
Up
Oh.
next, we have the unfortunate armpit,
Onion armpit.
onion armpit.
That's ironic and so sad.
Well, I feel bad for her dating life.
I wish I could see it right now.
That's called pull up your Discord and maybe you'll find out.
What if I don't want to?
Oh no.
Oh, then you're not gonna see it. That's just
Oh,
the
well.
answer.
Dang.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're trying to be professional.
Dude, this is a podcast. We're being professional, trust me.
Yeah, literally.
We're adding humor. in it.
Another armpit tattoo. As you can
Oh.
see, we have the baby within the shark's mouth.
Baby
Oh.
shark doo 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 doo.
Shut up.
Fernando.
And now
I know our first couple podcasts were very serious, but we like to open up and be a little more funny.
now we have
Oh,
Marilyn
lordy.
Monroe.
No.
Oh.
Marilyn
know what you
Monroe,
just
more like
started.
Marilyn Monroe. Oh my gosh, please stop. That's a no-no right there. Just why?
So bad for
Okay,
Why
her.
must you-
there's some I can't show because it would be too mean.
You can show us in
It would
the
be
chat.
too mean. It would be way too mean. No. Let me
Warren, you're
see.
probably on the wrong side of the internet right now.
No, I'm just on Google Images.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Up next, we have some stars.
It's not loading.
Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. It may not show up. Oh, it's not showing up.
I click. Ooh.
TimJimmyJoe.com.
Ooh, those are some wanky stars. Wanky?
Wonky.
Weird.
Wanky.
Wonky, that's the word.
Yeah.
Wanky. I don't think you know what that means.
That looks like Viviana's
This
tattoo.
one,
I'm
this
kidding.
one, this one, I feel like they did on purpose.
Hey, you're gonna have to cut that part out about Vivi.
Yeah, I got it. This one, I feel like they did on purpose.
Oh, wow.
Planahea. Hey.
Planahea.
He didn't plan
Planet
ahead.
Hood.
What? No, I think plana. Like he's trying to say planner. but like there's
No.
a planner there. Planahia.
He's
I
trying to
don't
say
get it.
plan ahead.
No, it's trying to say plan ahead, but he didn't plan ahead and realize how many letters are in it.
That's
That's tough.
tough. Wow, look at us saying the same
Up
stuff.
Do you
next.
think?
Up
No,
next.
wait. But did he actually plan it ahead to make it funny?
Yeah, that's
Because
why I'm
he
saying I
knew.
think he did that one
what
on
if he
purpose.
did that?
Really
that would
did
make
plan
it very
ahead.
meta.
No, like that means he's actually smart.
Oh my gosh.
Now right here, we have an extreme. Not wait. I can't tell if he spelled that wrong or oddly right.
No.
No, it's just extreme.
No, it's wrong.
There's no T.
It's just wrong. That's pretty.
Okay, this is a tattoo that I'm planning on getting.
That's
So,
really pretty.
Now that is pretty.
What's the meaning behind it?
well, pretty much every one of my shirts have roses.
This
on
man's
them.
gonna be repping Hollister.
And a rose. The roses symbolize love, and I love that tattoo. So I'm
Oh
just
my
throwing it out
God.
there. If I love the tattoo, people will love it, most likely. But
I mean,
we
it
shall
is
see.
pretty. Oh my gosh.
All I'm saying is we might have found Waldo.
You know, I don't think that's so much a bad decision as it is a good decision.
Wait,
No, just
but did
imagine.
they
No,
Wait, did they have to shave that?
Yeah,
To
they
get-
have to. So
if they don't
that's
shave,
a,
Waldo
that's a man.
disappears.
That's a man's chest. That's a man's chest. So they had to shave his chest hair.
They
So
literally had
it's
to.
all one thing. So that whenever he grows that chest hair back, he's like, "Where's Waldo?" And it's on him. All right, this one I've seen before, and it gets me every time.
Oh,
Guys, let's
I
get
have
on
that one.
topic.
Brendan, you know where that's from. Don't say where it's from, but you know where it's from.
This one's beautiful.
Guys, let's get back on topic. Come on now.
We're on topic.
Fernando, this
Fernando.
is the end. This is the end of it. This is the lighthearted segment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is just the part where we joke around.
Oh, does that mean I can
Keep
say anything?
No, I'm saying
okay.
that this is how we end it.
Oh, that's
Like we're
that's
gonna
brazy.
conclude soon.
That wolf. Wait, did that wolf only his mouth only open because like the man, woman,
No, no.
it thing, grew in size?
Oh,
But
that's
that
cool.
that one's a transformation where they transform
Yeah.
that ferocity into that beautiful thing.
That needed to be transformed. Just look at her eyes, and then her upper lip is
Look
one
at
singular
her.
line.
You know, I'm fairly certain all these bad tattoos come from Bourbon Street, New Orleans, because it seems like the tattoo artists themselves are also drunk.
Okay, no. I'm looking at this one, and I just imagine his friends. Hey,
Ooh.
trust me, I can do this one.
That or you can get tattoo artists to do exactly what you draw, and if you're drunk and you're like, put this on me, the tattoo artist can't refuse you. So I mean, that's all I'm saying.
You know what?
Oh,
You see it now, don't
oh.
you? That's a whole new meaning to Tony the Tiger.
No. The next
I just
one.
hope you know the audience is gonna be so
Another one.
lost because they don't know what we're looking at.
I'm putting in the images. So like at school tomorrow, I'm gonna go on the Discord and I'm gonna put in these links, and then I'm just gonna go back to the image links.
Let's see.
So I'm gonna find these images again. Last but
Alright.
not least, we have an image of Freddie Mercury.
Of what?
Of Freddie Mercury.
Ew.
Oh
What?
lordy.
It's not him.
He looks.
Brendan, that looks
oh.
like Lurch, like your character in theater.
What
That looks
happened to
nothing
his
like
upper
Mercury.
lips? What happened to his lips?
He doesn't have any.
You
No, I
guys,
just wanna
you
know, why
guys
does
know
this
that
line
you guys know
continue
that
down to his
image
nose?
of Jeff the Killer?
No.
Who the heck is
No,
Jeff?
I don't want to watch. Stop. No.
Kieran,
no,
you don't have to
no.
look at the hundreds and hundreds of images, okay?
Who's Jeff the Killer?
Oh, you know.
Isn't that creepypasta?
Yes, it is a creepypasta. Now, remind that
Oh my
Ah.
gosh.
their lips look similar.
That's called nightmares.
Oh, you'll be fine. Oh
Will
wait, no,
I?
hold on. I have a better one.
Oh no.
That's just creepy, man.
It is.
I'm gonna stop looking at
Hold
it.
on, hold on.
Well, no, I keep trying to check and see if y'all have sent anything else.
Whoa, hello. I am not looking
Okay.
at that one
All
again.
right, all right. You guys are gonna be
Oh.
babies.
All I'm saying, like, this was a mistake from the beginning.
He looks like the Green Giant. He looks like handsome Squidward. Hold on. Not the guy. The tattoo. Hold on.
Yeah.
He looks like handsome Squidward. Hold on. I'll send you the image.
Like, I'd say faces by far are the worst tattoos you can
Yeah,
get.
no, please don't get a tattoo.
List.
Don't get a fully serious like trying to copy the exact facial structure of a human because it's not gonna end well.
Like, if your body changes at all, it's over.
So if you just do a compare and contrast of the tattoo to handsome Squidward.
I feel bad for tattoo artists who make bad tattoos. They probably feel bad.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
No,
and don't at the same time.
I'd be laughing the entire time.
Kaden, what is wrong with you?
No, be like they really
No.
want this, but like you can't say no.
If I'm getting a tattoo
So...
and somebody starts laughing, I'm gonna start crying. That's all I'm saying.
Someone's just
For
like
real.
laughing just at their phone for no reason. Britton's just over here bawling.
Haircut. Like, the person, like, laughs.
Crawling in my skin. Swear
Okay,
still.
so really quick, I'm gonna cut this out, don't worry. So that section will be reduced down to the very end of the video, so after we conclude, it'll be sort of like a
Mhm.
blooper reel. So after we do the
Mhm.
outro, I'll put that in as extra. So that's just, I just thought we might as well do it now. So right now we're gonna do our conclusions, we're gonna give our final thoughts on it, our final stances. Brendan, stop.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help. I couldn't help it. He got hit by a car.
when he puts it in the wrong hole.
I really hope that one doesn't show up in the podcast. Mr. T would kill us, bro.
Would she put when you put it in the wrong? Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing tomorrow, and I'm gonna hate myself. All right, so
Don't
really
worry.
quick, we're just gonna do our conclusions, and then we're gonna end. Okay.
All right.
So give
I'm
me
done.
give me a little bit of silence. Give me a little bit of silence so we can finish this. Silence. All right, so to conclude, I think personally that tattoos, I'm gonna have to agree with Kieran, with the fact that age of consent should align with, I'm gonna restart that because Kieran didn't say that.
I did say that.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, well then, hold on, let me just restart. Alright, to conclude, we're basically going to give our personal opinions on whether kids should be able to control their permanent marking basic abilities. So I'm just going to say really quick that I'm going to have to agree with Kieran on his opinion, saying that age of consent should align with being able to get a tattoo and as well as piercings. I think if you're
Mhm.
able to make one life-changing decision, you should also be able to make another. It's messed up in a sense, like obviously. I just think it's kind of fair. It's like the whole voting age amendment thing, where if you're able to be shipped off to war, you should be able to vote. If you're able to
Mhm.
make a decision to have sex with someone, I think you should also be able to choose to get a piercing and to get a tattoo. No matter the morals, I think it's just more of a civil right.
Mhm.
Like no matter your morals, I feel like it's just as equally fair to the common person, to the common citizen of the U.S. to have that ability. But that's just my idea on it.
No, I
Uh,
agree with you.
If anyone wants
I
to
com-
follow up with their opinion.
well, if nobody else minds me going, no, I'm sorry. Anyway, I completely agree with you, hands down. I definitely think age of consent should be like the 18 of Texas, if that makes sense. Because I think at 17, most people, not all of them, most people would be able to make rational decisions on whether or not if they wanted to get a tattoo or piercing.
Mhm.
And I don't think people should do it for the wrong reasons, such as like rebellion or the wrong intention, if that makes sense. But
Mhm.
they should do it if it makes them feel good and it makes it's meaningful in some way, shape, or form, so you don't regret it later on. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't really know what else to say about that, but
So
y'all
so you're
basically
so you're
covered it.
agreeing with Kieran?
Mhm.
Brendan, Fernando, do you guys have anything to add? Any like personal opinions on what you think the ruling should be for tattoos and piercings, or anything to
Yeah, I
add?
agree with Kieran. I think if you want to go younger than that, you should obviously get the parent consent or whatever. And if you get a drunk tattoo, if you don't know what to get but you really want to get one, just don't do any names of any girls. And
Okay.
Heart Mom is always a safe bet.
unless it's your kids, and if you're having kids at 17, that's a whole different story that we'll save for another day. But unless it's your children, do not get any names tattooed on unless they're like your dad or your mom.
Especially not a girl's.
Or guys.
And like I said,
That you have
unless
a
they're your
relationship with.
parents, it's irrelevant.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, I feel like tattoos, I can understand have them at 17. A lot of people can make the rational decisions then. Piercings, I feel like piercings on the ears, you should be able to have those younger with your parents'
Mhm.
permission, but on other parts of the body, such as the belly button and like that, most people put them there just to show them off. I feel like 16 or 17 before you can get those, just because there's no real reason to have them, and there's no
Mhm.
reason to rush getting them there.
You're saying, Brennan, but like that's already a thing. Like, like that's actually a rule. You can't get any piercings unless you have parental consent. That's what you just said.
What the
What's
heck?
funny? Oh shoot, am I not muted?
Oh my Oh my
Sorry guys.
No.
Continues to flush the toilet.
Fernando.
I better hear some water running and you washing your
Oh
hands.
my gosh.
Fernando, I better hear some